Hello friends, this is Bharath reporting for Revsportz from the city of Thiruvananthapuram. As you know, tomorrow India will take on New Zealand or lock horns against New Zealand in the final match of the 5-match T20I series between these two countries. Yes, India have already clinched the series by winning the first three games comprehensively, and then the fourth one, New Zealand posted a moral boosting victory. Yes, it would definitely boost their confidence going into the World Cup, as defeating India in any game, in a T20I game, especially in their own conditions, should boost your confidence. Yes, India were not exactly at their full strength and it was a dead rubber contest, but I would still say New Zealand's confidence would be a little bit better after winning that game. Let us look at the major talking points going into this match, especially from India's perspective. Yes, we have to talk about Sanju Samson's poor form. He was averaging just over 11 before that game in Vizag, where he looked in decent touch, scored 24 runs of 15 balls before he was dismissed by Mitchell Sander, the wily spinner. So, what could be his problem there? Maybe he was down on confidence. Maybe it was because he took a kind of stance, opened himself up a little bit. Also, the kind of guard where almost all three stumps were visible. So when you are doing that against a left arm spinner who can turn the odd ball away from you, then it could be problematic, especially someone as good as Mitchell Sander. Yes, he's also been troubled by Jofra Archer in the India vs England series. It was a short ball, and the lines were mostly straighter. So that is where Samson kind of struggled. Maybe it was down to the fact that it's not one of those pullers who goes back and across and then tries to pull only when the ball is more on the left side of the shoulder. Is someone who doesn't really do that. Although in the final game of that T20I series against England, he attempted to play that way, but was dismissed by Archer's partner in crime, Mark Wood. Here one has to give a bit of leeway to Samson, considering the fact that here is a bowler who is very good with short deliveries, and also is someone who is pretty much dismissed a lot of batters with his short balls. But Samson himself would be a little bit disappointed with some of those dismissals. And then in the India vs New Zealand series, Matt Henry troubled him with the wobble seam deliveries, and got a little bit of moment, obviously. So here it could be his downswing, something that he's not been able to adjust to different kinds of pace. That could also be a factor against Archer, that downswing is not quick enough when it comes to facing bowlers who are a little bit quicker, or maybe when it comes to facing movement. And it also could be the fact that he is more of a back foot trigger. He does have more of a back foot trigger. It is something that he has been using it in the recent past, and that could have gone against him, especially while playing movement while facing Matt Henry. So that's a little bit about Samson's problems, but you have to consider that he's still a very good player, still a good T20I player, and you perhaps back him to at least do well in tomorrow's game. Also, one has to look at how the selectors of the Indian think tank are considering Sanju Samson's poor form. Going by the couple of press conferences that I have attended in the last few days, I feel that they're backing their player to the hilt. I'm pretty sure he will play tomorrow's game, and also perhaps most likely he would play a couple more games in the World Cup. If he does well in those matches, obviously his place would be guaranteed for many more games. But if he fails, then there could be more scrutiny on Sanju Samson, on this fluent shot maker. Then Ishan Kishan obviously could come into the equation. As you know, here is one cricketer who was in tremendous form in the Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy, and also in the India vs New Zealand series. In the second game, he cracked a valuable 76. So he's someone I think he's upgraded his T20I, his power hitting as well, because if you look at his batting charts, especially in that second T20I, when he cracked that 76, smashed as many as 6 boundaries to the offside. He also, I think, is definitely upgraded his pull stroke. That's helping him against fast bowlers. In the same match, actually, he smashed, I think, collected 17 of his 76 runs Why the pull stroke? That gives an indicator of the kind of improvements that is made. Yes, is definitely knocking on the door as a reserve opener, as a reserve wicketkeeper in that India squad for the T20 World Cup. And if Samson fails, unfortunately for him, Kishan could come into the equation. Also, one has to remember, as you get older, it becomes tougher to keep your place, just because of the fact that the selectors, the Indian think tank, or any think tank for the matter, would have less faith in you, less patience in you, because they would think that why not invest in a youngster who can come into the equation and grab his chance. It could be a long term investment. So I keep investing in someone who is nearing 35 or is over 30 years of age. So hopefully, from Sanju Samson's perspective, he will do well tomorrow, and basically that would silence the critics, that would silence everyone, and also would boost Samson's confidence going into the World Cup. So thank you for taking your time out. Hopefully you liked it. If you have liked it, please keep subscribing to our Revsportz videos. We don't just cover cricket, we cover other sports as well. Thank you again.